let's dive into the bad stuff.
Okay.
The bad stuff of a business, man.
So
The pain.
first and foremost for me, number one thing is starting it. It's funny we talk about the wedding expo. We went into that before we were even a business, and they required a business EIN or business registration.
EIN number, yeah.
Yeah. So, very first experience with setting up the business was kind of Google, IRS. What do I need to
Start
have
a business.
a EIN? You know, and that's literally out the gate what we did or what I did. And the funny thing is it took like 15 minutes to get the EIN number. It was the easiest thing
ever.
out of the step of the process.
Mm-hmm. But then you got to get the licensing to run the business in the state.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get all that approved. You have to get your tax
state
information, your
taxes.
federal, your state, correct?
You know, so
it's stressful.
If you are just looking into it, definitely don't just Google how to get an EIN number.
Find an accountant.
Yeah, there's so much more. You have to check name information, like with the state registry. Yeah, definitely talk to somebody rather than Google. Google is great for starting and getting an EIN number. But yeah.
I thought the same thing, like starting Gage Horn Studios. I was like, man, starting a business, like this is crazy. I did a couple of gigs before and I was like, it's time to do this. Sitting down, you're like, holy crap, it is so complicated. The amount of things you have to do to legally run a business. And then by the end of it, they're like, after just literally a month of torture, calling the mayor's office, calling this person, getting this approved, being able to run a business out of an apartment, blah, 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 like doing all those things. And then they'll be like, all right, now I want 15% of all of your income. And you're like... Really? What is this?
Yeah, making sure that... So in the state of Idaho, and I'm not sure where you're at, but the state of Idaho, for the very first year, they expect you to submit your earnings quarterly.
Quarterly.
So
every 3 months.
3 months. And it becomes such a hassle.
But it's not even just state. It's federal and state.
Yeah,
so you have to go into the system, and even though we don't get state tax because we're a service, we don't give a physical product. We stay away from everybody wanting the MP3s and all that kind of stuff, you know, the hard drives or whatever. We're like, nah, because if we do that, then we get taxed on state.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that you have to put $0 on the state thing, or else you will get fined, which is ridiculous.
And it's a hefty fine. It's $500, you know. And
did you get it resolved?
Oh, everything's good now.
Oh, good.
I went in there and I spent 2 hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes just talking with a state tax official, and you know, it was one of the best things that I did. If ever you guys are, you know, just dealing with something, go and talk to the tax commission or whoever runs the taxes in your state, because it saves you so much unknown.
Yeah, so much unknown, so much, you know, because we would have been paying on. No one tells you not to pay state tax.
Yeah,
they'll tell you what you need to, but at the beginning you're like, oh, I better pay my 5, 6, 7% to state tax. But then you're like, when you told me, I was like, wait, what? You don't have to pay state tax if you don't give physical things.
In the state of Idaho, told me that. In the state of Idaho, if it is digitally received. And what that means is through online, or if you are not physically handing them the product, then there's no tax. You're a service.
And we're not accountants, so just take this all with a grain of salt. But
it's different state to state.
It is different state to state, but this is what we've learned and have been told throughout, you know, the time of our business.